Hey everybody, what's up? Startup Survival here, and you're looking at my favorite Swiss Army knife. That is the Victorinox Spartan. I think the Spartan strikes a really good balance between weight and size and tool set, so that it makes it the best overall Swiss Army knife for city carry. You don't have a saw on there, but you do have a large blade, you got a small blade, you have a corkscrew on the back, an awl for punching holes and stuff. I find that tool pretty hard to get out actually, but there you go, I did it. And on the front also you got a bottle opener and flathead screwdriver, and then you got a can opener and a small flathead screwdriver. So it's a pretty cool tool set, and like I said, it's my favorite overall Swiss Army knife. I think that you don't want to have too many tools on a Swiss Army knife because they do make some that really get out of hand and get quite large and thick. This is the Huntsman, and I think this is pretty much as big as I want to go. And I think it's worth it because you get the addition of scissors, and you also get a saw in there if I can find it. So I think that that's a pretty cool urban and sort of wilderness tool. Other than that, the tool set is very similar to the Spartan. But like I said, I don't carry it that much because it has too many tools on it. It's not going to work on something like a keychain. As far as keychains go, the Spartan is pretty much as big as I want to go. And I've carried them quite a lot in that sort of system. But then you have other Swiss Army knives that have a smaller tool set, and they're easier to carry, such as the Cadet. So here it comes in its little box here. I'll take it out so you can have a look at it. I bought this 2 weeks ago or so, and I've carried it on my keychain actually for the last 2 weeks. And I've gone kind of back and forth on my opinion of it, but I think I've more or less settled at how I feel, so now I'm ready to talk about it. I'm ready to talk about it finally after all this time, all these things I've gone through with this little knife. But the exterior of the knife, I would say, is a really nice contrast against traditional Swiss Army knives. And I'll throw down a red one here, which people are probably more familiar with. You know, the red can be kind of boring, right? All the Swiss Army knives kind of look the same, so it's nice to shake it up with different colorations and perhaps different handle materials, right? So I think that that's like a really cool feature actually about the Cadet is the A-LOX handles, and they do come in a number of different colorations. If I can find a photo there, I'll throw it up so you can see, but I think they've got like black and red and green and orange and maybe a couple others. The only one I could find in my area was silver. And I think it looks pretty cool. The other nice thing about the silver, I think, in contrast to the other colors, is as it experiences wear and tear, you know, if that finish gets scuffed or anything like that, all you're going to find underneath is more silver metal. So I think this is going to look new over time, much more so than another coloration. It also has the key ring there, and I think that is what this tool is ideally suited for, is carrying on your keychain or somewhere else that's like extremely convenient. You can see that there's no tools on the back here, and the A-LOX handles makes it extremely light to carry, so that's the good stuff. Let's open it up and have a look at the tool set. So you got the main blade here, and I will just show it up against the blade of the Spartan because you'll see that this the Cadet blade is actually just a little bit smaller. If I can line them up there, you can see it's probably a ½ inch or so shorter and maybe a little thinner than the Spartan blade. I don't think that that's a bad thing necessarily, but just something to note. Of course, it's the same, you know, as the Spartan, FFG, sort of plain edge blade, slip joint, of course, it's non-locking. I did notice that this one is not as smooth as the traditional Swiss Army knives. I'm not sure if it's tight because it's new or what. I'm sure if I owned it for long enough, it would probably loosen up a little bit. So that is the main blade. I think it's great. It's by far the best tool on this knife. Down here on the other side, you have basically a nail file with a sharp end on it. I personally find this tool a little useless, to be honest with you. I would much rather have a secondary blade in there or a saw or something like that. I mean, a saw perhaps is not the right choice because this is more of an urban tool than wilderness for sure. But I have absolutely no use for a nail file, so I find that tool kind of silly, honestly. I'm not sure if the tip of it can do something else, like maybe this is like a half Phillips driver. To be confirmed. I honestly don't know if it would work for that or not, but Swiss Army knives like to sort of claim that they have more than one tool in the same place kind of thing, so I'm sure they probably invented some sort of use for that, but I have no idea what it is. Then you come to the front and you've got the bottle opener, and that also serves as a flathead screwdriver. I think it's a pretty cool tool. I've used bottle openers on Swiss Army knives a lot, especially when I'm down in Mexico and I can drink the Coke in the glass bottles. I really like to have that. And then the other tool here is a can opener. I really like Swiss Army can openers. I like them better than the Leatherman ones for sure. And it's got like a little flathead screwdriver on the end of it. And that is pretty much all she wrote. That is the tool set for the Cadet. So, what else can we say about it other than underwhelmed, you know? I bought this actually as a gift for my team at work this year. I have 4 people on my team, and I got each of their first names engraved on the main blade. And I also bought one for myself because I thought it would be fun to review it on my channel. I think everybody was really happy with it, actually. To get a Swiss Army knife as a gift, I think that's a pretty cool gift. I've gotten a couple of them over my life, and they were treasured companions, I would say. And also to get one with your name on it, I think that's cool and personal and all that stuff. Everybody seemed pretty happy with it, and I was happy to give it. But I'm just not satisfied with this tool. I guess it's because I'm used to something like a Spartan, you know, like I like those extra tools on it. And I'm just not happy with it, so I'm going to take it back, actually. And this is not a tool I would recommend, unless, of course, you're comfortable with that sort of minimalist tool set. I don't consider myself to be a minimalist at all. I think it's healthy to see what you can do with the bare minimum of things, but you've got other choices that are just as good. You know, there's a Squirt PS4, I think, and it's got scissors on it, and of course it folds out to become a little mini set of pliers. In terms of, you know, overall size, it's not dramatic. It's smaller. I mean, in terms of length and all that, I would say it's probably heavier than the Cadet. Oh yeah, it's definitely heavier. It's probably twice as heavy, or, you know, half again as much as heavy as the Cadet, but way more useful. I would rather have that on my keychain, or I would rather have a Spartan, which is doable as well. And the last thing I'll say is that Nud and Fancy raves about this little knife, and I'm a huge fan of Nud and Fancy's. He's been very influential, I would say, in my life over the last few years, sort of getting me into the spirit of preparedness and EDC and getting out there and having adventures and camping, even shooting. So quite a lot of things I've gotten out of his channel, and I'm sure he'll probably never see this video, but if you've never seen Nud and Fancy, definitely check it out. It's well worth watching. He's reviewed so many different things over the years. Ironically, he's never reviewed a Spartan, I believe, but he has reviewed a Cadet. This is one of his favorite sort of like EDC items, and he's got a whole bunch of them, and he sort of throws them in every single system he has, and they appear in his videos quite a lot. But what I've learned with Nud and Fancy is that not everything he recommends is necessarily going to be for you. You know, he likes different things. He's got his own styles, but I would say you can learn a lot from his channel. But just keep in mind that not everything you buy is going to work out well for you. Like here's another example. He loves the SOG Flash 1. And I've had that knife for, you know, 2 years now, and I've carried it maybe 5 or 10 times in total. You know, it's not for me. It's too light, it's too small. I don't trust it as my main blade. I don't really like assisted blades is something I've learned. It's fun to play with. I mean, it's a kind of a cool little knife or whatever, but it doesn't connect with me as a user. So, you know, Nud and Fancy, as great as he is, and for all the knowledge he spreads, like I said, not everything is going to be for you. Anyways, those are my thoughts on the Cadet. You know, if you have it and you like it, all the power to you, but it just didn't work out for me. Thanks for watching.